Nearly 2 weeks since the midterm election, the recount is finally over in Florida. But in the end, thousands of mail-in ballots were thrown out because signatures didn't match the ones on file. As Stephanie Leydon tells us, it's a rare example of the relevance of handwriting at a time many schools are questioning the value of teaching it.
You're going to start at the top.
At St. Columkill School in Brighton.
And swing down to the bottom line.
A lesson
back up to the top line
in the nearly lost art,
and you can swing underneath with a nice little curly cue
of cursive handwriting.
Some of the kids wonder why we're learning it.
After all, Holly Martin's third graders are growing up in an era where most of us tap out our thoughts on a keyboard.
Nice work.
But with practice comes, if not perfection, at least an appreciation for forming these curly-cued letters.
If you were writing like a book and you wanted to use cursive, it would look more fancy.
It's a creative outlet, Martin says many of her students enjoy, and she points out a skill they'll use all their lives, from writing letters to signing their name. And as we saw during the Florida recount, voters with sloppy signatures paid a price. Their ballots were thrown out.
Is this an indication that people need training in cursive?
I would say, I think it's important to know how to sign your own name, and even the students in my class know that they need to know how to write their name and write it in a signature, because you're going to use that. It's part of your identity.
Teaching cursive has long been a hallmark of Catholic schools like this one, but until about 20 years ago, it was also standard practice in Massachusetts public schools. But given the demands of a 21st century education, schools have cut back, if not completely cut out, cursive.
We are definitely going against the tide.
Head of school William Gartside says cursive writing gets kids to slow down.
First, I make a line.
Maybe even think more.
And then I come around the other way.
We still think it's an important thing to try to do, understanding that the tide's washing over the wall.
Do you think there's a time Catholic schools will no longer teach cursive? Is that?
I would say that time is coming real soon.
I'm on keyboard.
There aren't enough hours in the day, he says, to include everything kids need to learn. In the age of computers, even here, cursive can't compete.
We're going to start on the bottom line.
The writing for handwriting may be on the wall.
You give it a little hook.
Stephanie Leydon, WGBH News.
Oh, that's nice. And that's a hard letter. Good job.
Although cursive is not required in Massachusetts public schools, state education frameworks do call for fifth grade students to be able to sign their name.